what we're going to talk about today is why do expectations create suffering? Because they do. And one of the outcomes I'm going to say to you today is to have no expectations. And you go, what the hell, Paul? Are you fucking crazy? Right. Right. But the more expectations you have, the more suffering you're going to do. So let's talk about expectations. Let's first talk about what does it mean. If you look at a dictionary, this is probably what it's expectations. Generally, what that means is you expect a certain outcome. In other words, you've got a strong belief that something is going to happen. Right? Does it make sense? Like, I'm going to an expo today and I'm going to make $700. And generally, what a lot of our expectations come from is the past. Right? We form these beliefs that something's going to happen because something happened in the past.
Mm.
Now, I can tell you this is very dangerous at the moment because we're going through a major change in the world. So therefore, maybe what's going to happen has got nothing to do with what you experienced in the past. So, for instance, you might have expectations. Oh my God, I'm in a company and I'm okay and I'm safe because I've got a job. And then you go, oh my God, what happens if I get sacked? Well, that's not your expectation, right? And that's going to cause suffering. Because at the moment, jobs aren't that safe. They're putting people off. And certain forces which are trying to close down businesses, like tourism and airline industry. Right. You can ask questions as you go here, right? Right. So then the next point is, if this outcome occurs, the outcome that you expect or believe is going to happen, you're relaxed and happy. But if this outcome doesn't occur, then you start having all these negative thoughts. This is the issue that happens with expectations. So let's go to this experience I had with Maria on the weekend. Now, we went to an expo, right? Now, in Sale, which we went to, the previous time, a couple of the readers there said it was absolutely packed. Now, this time it wasn't. Probably one issue was because it was Father's Day. Right? And people probably aren't coming out to an expo. And then I was watching some of the practitioners there, and you could see that they, oh my God, I'm not going to make the money I normally make. And you can see them having negative thoughts. Oh my God, this is like Maria. She said at the end of the day, I've had a bad day. Really? Right? And that thought only comes from her expectation. Because you know one thing I said to her, Jacinta? Well, you had a bad day and you spent 6 hours with me. Oh my God.
At least she didn't have 3 children in the game.
Oh, yeah.
True.
And that was interesting. Like when we play cash flow, Tracy, what Jacinta's the only one who had kids. But every time she had a kid, she complained. Because in the cash flow game, it costs you money to have a child, right? But you're lucky, Jacinta, you weren't a lawyer. If you're a lawyer, your child expenses are a lot higher. So therefore, it's all about, you're going to start having negative thoughts if this expectation doesn't happen. Oh my God, this outcome didn't happen. Rather than, what we're going to talk about is rather than just accepting what's happening. So if you've got expectations, and then if that outcome doesn't happen, you start having negative thoughts. Because if the thought is it's a bad day, that's only your thought. It's not reality for everybody. I had an enjoyable day. Because the way I looked at it, we drove, every day is beautiful. If you look at it, you can bring joy to any moment. But we drove for 2 hours, beautiful parks and stuff. Maria and I had some beautiful chats. And even if you just do one person and change their life, my God, how powerful is that?
Absolutely.
Does that make sense? And I'm going to give you an example. I did this talk in Melbourne once, live talk. 30 people said they were going to come. But that night, we had a real heavy thunderstorm in Melbourne, rain. And you know what people are like? Oh my God, it's raining. This is an idea of expectations. Oh my God, it's raining. I'm sad and depressed. And I can't go out. That's really interesting because I go in the shower every day, nude, right? Get rain. Now, if I was worried about expectations, oh my God, I'm only going to be. In other words, what people are saying is, I will be happy if this outcome happens. That's really what they're saying. Now, when I went and did that talk, 2 people turned up out of 30. Now, I could go, oh my God, is there something wrong with me? Why didn't all these people turn up? Oh my God, I'm not going to make no money. Well, whatever. Right. But you know what I did? I said, this is perfect. It's happening for a reason. It was a talk on shamanism, actually, shamanic healing. Now, I know why that happened. Everything that does happen is perfect. I did a really big healing session, an entity removal, soul trip on the lady, which related to her being raped on stage in a past life, as she was a witch, and then killed. Now, the other guy was there, was a friend of hers, and she felt comfortable with him being there. Now, that session probably wouldn't have gone as deep if there was 30 people there. So she got a really, really deep healing. Now, both of those people became clients, right? So I actually made $300 doing 2 sessions. Well, actually more, $450 because she came for 2 sessions after that. So I made $400 from that talk. So was that a bad session because 2 people turned up? Absolutely not. If you perceive it is, you're going to have negative thoughts. Now, if you have negative thoughts, this is because you're trying to control. You're trying to control the outcomes. So expectations is a form of control. Because really what you're saying is, I will be happy if this outcome happens. Like the practitioners at the expo. I'll be happy if I have happy little clients all day. Whereas actually, Maria said at one stage, oh, I know I'm not busy today because I need to relax. Perfect. Everything's perfect. It's not what happens that's causing suffering. And this is talked about by a lot of healers, right? It's not what happens that causes suffering. It's your perception of what happens that causes suffering. There's a big, big difference. So if you sit there and perceive to go, oh yeah, talk to some interesting people, because I went around and talked to a few healers, right? I've got a couple of healers that I'm going to do sessions on. And you can always enjoy the day for what it's offering you. Every moment. So in a way, people who have a lot of expectations, they're control freaks. And obviously the extreme case of that is OCD, obsessive control disorder. And if you want to watch a good movie about that, what's it called with Nicholson in it?
Oh yes, The Good Man.
No, not
I
The
think,
Good
isn't
Man.
it?
No, it's not The Good Man.
As good as it gets.
As Good as It Gets.
That's it. Yeah.
As Good as It Gets. That's a classic movie. Now, apparently that movie was designed for Nicholson, and if he didn't play the role, they weren't going to make it because that's what he's like in life. Now, he's absolutely a control freak, obsessive control disorder.
Really? He doesn't seem he is. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but apparently he is, right? That's a good example of watching it. Now, as a kid, I like to be naughty and play with consciousness. My dad had that. So his expectation was, in the morning, he would do things in a certain order and things would happen at a certain time. Right? So I knew that he'd be in the bathroom combing his hair at 8:02. I just knew that would be the time. So what I did is I hid his comb, and my brother and I were lying under my bed because we knew how Dad was going to react based on his expectations. And we had a bet when he would start screaming. And I was at 8:02. Perfect. And of course, it was absolutely spot on. At 8:02, where's my fucking comb? That was me just getting him to look at his comb, right? So there's a certain outcome. Fancy getting upset because you can't find your comb. That's what people are like when they have certain expectations, and it's all about control. Because what they're really saying here is, I'm going to be uncomfortable if this certain outcome doesn't happen. That's what they're really saying, right? Now, if that's the case, you're going to experience a lot of heavy emotions. Because negative thoughts, we talk about this in Module 2, negative thoughts create heavy emotions. That's where heavy emotions come from, having negative thoughts. Because example the other day, as soon as Maria said that was a bad day, a negative thought, well, she went into heavy emotions. Oh my God, disappointment, maybe frustration. But these emotions people tend to feel: disappointment. Oh, they're anxious. Oh my God, this outcome didn't happen. Where's my cone? Right? They feel scared, anger. They're angry because this didn't happen. Now, another example of this is people have expectations about their partner. Oh my God, my partner should do this. And if they don't do it, Jacinda's laughing. Right? If they don't do it, you get angry. Why isn't my partner doing what he should be doing so I can feel comfortable based on my expectations? Bloody control freak. Can anyone relate to that?
Yeah.
Jacinda, can you relate to that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Tell us a story. Tell us a story about that.
Oh yeah, no, my ex. Look, yeah, yes, yeah. If he, well, yeah, expectations. I think the biggest thing I always wanted. I never felt love from him. He never really told me he loved me, and I was always waiting for that. And it was that expectation really did keep me inside my head of not being worthy and love. Yeah, that was huge. Yeah, and it wasn't really about him. Now, I mean, if you asked me 12 months ago or something, I would have told you he was an F and C and all that sort of thing. But the more I can see, yeah, from my own, I didn't know that. And also, when we talk about myths, like if we look at Indigenous people, and I'm going to do it in my talk tonight, the Dreamtime where they learn from from the elders, both the feminine. But our myth is when we break the myth, we're breaking the myth of how we were taught by our parents or how we were programmed. So that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. So everything that we've learned, you can undo. Yeah.
Cool. So I think a good point there relating to what we're talking about now, Jacinta, is a lot of expectations, they come from our culture. So for instance, expectation, if I go to university and get some good skills, I'm going to earn a job and I'm going to be safe. Yeah. So quite often we get expectations from our culture and from people around us. But I can tell you, the more expectations you're going to have, and all these emotions, if you go to the emotional tone scale, which is a really powerful model, it's very exciting, right? Just all the others use it a lot in their courses. All these emotions are right down the bottom. And you might even have shame. As an example, you might have an expectation, I'm gonna do this video for my course in the next 2 hours. Oh my God, it's taking me 6 hours. Oh my God, is there something wrong with me? So all based on expectation. So a lot of you guys have got expectations in the way you're creating your courses. It's about having no expectations, and we'll come and talk about that. So if the outcome doesn't happen, you have negative thoughts and you're going to suffer because you're going to have these heavy emotions. So, and then of course that's going to all create issues with your body. Right?
Can I just chime in about the expectations?
Yes, Tracy.
I had that realization in the last week. I had this expectation of what I perceived others would want for a course, not what I wanted to give. And it was getting very difficult for me and I was a bit blocked. So I dropped that expectation and I'm just starting to let it flow.
And how's that making you feel?
Much less stressed and anxious, and I'm not as blocked.
Well, yeah. So this is a big thing for you in your life, Tracy. Absolutely. Then the question is, how do we deal with that? Which is related to one of Joe's questions at the start. No expectations equals no suffering. There's a myth. There's blowing a myth, isn't it? Right? This is what I suggest. You set clear intentions, and then you allow the universe to create what you need to experience in the moment. That's a total different world. Now, if you do that, what you're really doing, this means you've got an attitude of acceptance and gratitude. This is the difference. Rather than have expectations, accept every moment this happened. Oh my God, we're to an expo. Maybe made $200 rather than $700. Who cares? I might have got one amazing client, one amazing person. Look at the day as to how you can bring joy to any moment. That's acceptance. Most people don't accept, they resist. The opposite to acceptance is resistance. Oh my God, it's raining today. I'm upset. Why are you upset? Because you've got an expectation I'm only going to be happy if the sun's out. That's an expectation. Compared to the attitude of, if I get up today and whatever happens, it's a beautiful day. If it's raining, I can go and play in the rain. If the sun's out, I'm going on the beach. So it's accepting every day and being grateful for every moment. Because, and this, underlying all this is really understanding the law of attraction, which most people don't understand. Because what we all know that whatever happens in any moment is based on what you create, based on your beliefs. So if you create an experience that you don't enjoy, oh my God, I fell off my scooter. Maybe I don't want to do that every day. But it's accepting I've created that in the moment. And then it's about learning the lesson, which of course we talk a lot about in this course. It's about learning the lesson from the experience. Oh my God, what is this teaching me? A bit like Maria said before, right? Now, she had expectations in the game. Now, when she was still in the rat race and everyone else out in the big game, having fun, right? Now, she judged herself, which is based on expectation. Oh my God, why aren't I there? Now, if you looked at the experience, which we helped her look at and said, well, there's certain reasons why you're not out of the game, out of the rat race yet. And that's about being too conservative. And the game's teaching you that. Now, if you honour that experience and accept, oh my God, what an amazing lesson I've learned. And then the next go make a big decision on a business around that. Oh my God, I've got to go and take more risk. And therefore I'm going to go and something I've been thinking about it for a while, but haven't acted on, right? Probably because of your expectations. Is that if you have the attitude of acceptance and gratitude, I tell you that is going to change your life at a big level. Because in a way, this is all about mindset. We talk about mindset a lot in this course. And if you've got a mindset of expectations, you're going to set yourself up for suffering. And this relates to something that Jacinta is going to try and talk about on shame. It's quite often when we're growing up, we have shame because we judge ourselves compared to other people. So therefore, we have certain expectations, which is usually our parents' expectations. Oh my God, you've got to go to university and you've got to be successful, right? Because the parents weren't, so they want you to be, right? And then you've got all these expectations, I've got to be successful. I can tell you, when I taught at university, we'd have at the university 3 students who were suicide every year in first year, every year. Why did they suicide? Because of expectations. They couldn't meet their parents' expectations. Oh my God, I'm a failure because I can't do this. Well, you're living other people's life. And as we talked about a lot in this course, it's about going inside and seeing the worthiness inside. Right? People could turn their phone off and put it on silence. Be great.
Sorry.
That's right. Thank you for that. So it's about having clear intentions, because we know we create by intentions. And your intentions could be, I'm going to an expo, I'm going to have fun today and meet some interesting people, and I'm just going to bring in abundance, whatever is relevant, and the world's going to help me learn some amazing things about myself on my journey. And then don't be attached to the outcome. Because in a way, expectations is being attached to the outcome. And if the outcome doesn't happen, oh my God. As compared to this beautiful lady who's opening up to the world to be grateful, attuned and aware, that's going to mean that she's going to experience more joy. So rather than have expectations, bring joy to every moment. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so no questions. Let's just go around and just see what everyone's at. So Tracy.
Yep.
What did you pick up from that for you?
It was probably a lot of what I already knew, but it reminded me, and there was a few extra bits. Like changing my course because of the expectation I had on myself and what I perceived others would want. had put me down a wrong path.
Cool.
So yeah, I had to accept that, and then I had to change.
Excellent. And by changing, you feel better.
I do. Yeah.
Excellent. Caroline, what did you learn out of all that?
There's a lot of things. That life is trying to teach you something, and that you attract in what your energy is at
Yeah.
all times, I guess.
Yeah.
And then if you're in a bad situation, you can kind of find out like that's a reflection of you, and then
Yeah.
always learning.
So when you have no expectations, the word bad goes out of your vocabulary. There's no such thing as a bad experience unless you've got expectations.
Right.
Because based on what you just said, Caroline, which you'll learn a lot more when you do module 4 on law of attraction. When life brings you experiences to learn from, how can they be bad?
Mm. Yeah, they
So
can.
when I fell off my scooter, did I say that as a bad experience? People say, "Oh my God, that was a bad experience." I said, "No, it's an experience that I needed to have, otherwise I wouldn't have created it."
Mm.
Because in a way, if you're a perfectionist, you'll appreciate that every moment is perfect. That's the best way to be a perfectionist.
Right. How? Just
This moment is perfect. Why is it perfect?
already.
Because I created it based on my beliefs and where I'm at. Exactly what you said.
Yeah. The other thing that was really good was intentions, I think, because
Yeah.
that was what I guess I never understood. If I don't have expectations, then, well, I'm just gonna attract in things, but what are they gonna be, I guess?
And it's setting clear intentions, right? Because you might want to learn something, and this relates to Joe. But if you set intentions, oh, I just want to learn about death. Well, the universe might create you a near-death experience,
Jesus.
or you could be hit by a Mack truck. So I set intentions. I want to learn this in a harmonic way. But I'll say more than that, in a harmonic, fun way, which my inner child can play with. That's what I say. That's my intention. Because if you say you want to learn this, the universe could bring a learning experience in many different ways.
Mhm.
You could say, "Oh, I have an intention to find out more who I am." Now, I saw the speaker, Caroline.
Mhm.
He had his whole arm chopped off from walking out of a plane, a small plane, and his arm got cut off by the propeller. He walked into it.
Whoa.
Now, that's an interesting way to connect to your essence, which he did. It helped him connect to his essence.
Wow.
But you could have done another way.
Right.
But that's what he needed to experience.
Uh,
Perfect. Thanks for that. Maria, what did you learn from all that?
Well, because I'm in business mode at the moment, is not to go into the new, like the wellness centre with expectations.
Yeah.
To go with the flow, that whoever walks in my door, whenever they walk in, it's perfect timing.
Yeah. But it's also having clear intentions about why you're there
Yeah, absolutely.
and what you want to get out of it. Yeah. Cool. Thanks for that. Jacinda, what did you get out of today? Out of that so far?
Expectations. Yeah, I never looked at it as acceptance and gratitude, and I sort of start my day with acceptance and gratitude with a lot of things. And one thing I do notice, like, I walk a lot every day, and when it's funny, like this morning, everyone was saying what a beautiful blue sky, but then on another day you see them when it's raining and cold, they go, "Oh, I don't like the cold." But I always tell them, and I have for a long time, I said, I like every day is a beautiful day, whether it's raining or whether it's sunny. Yeah. And yeah, expectations. Yeah. I had a lot of expectations in my relationship with my ex, and I've had to learn a lot along the way. Yeah.
So if
about
you have
myself.
expectations in a relationship, you're probably codependent.
I know that's what I am, codependent, because I had a lot of
It's
expectations.
generally what people do in relationships. They're
Mm.
looking for the other person to satisfy their needs, so they've got an expectation. You're going to love me. You're going to put the rubbish out. You're going to cook me a nice meal. Whatever your expectations are, right? And when they don't do it, you get angry with them. Why aren't you fulfilling my needs?
Mm.
I don't need to do anything. What are you talking about? Love me for who I am.
Mm.
Because if you're a whole person, you don't need anything from anybody. You have no expectations of other people. Well, that's going to change your life. If you have no expectations from any other person. How cool is that?
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, and
It's
I'm doing that a lot too now. I send my little kid, not my kid, every day I send them a message or a phone. And once upon a time, I would have got angry at them not saying anything back, but I actually just send it to them each day without any expectations. And in actual fact, I'm now starting to see that when I'm giving it to them, I'm actually giving it to myself because it's something that I needed to see too. So that's
cool.
coming
Yeah.
with me lately too.
And
Yeah.
another point that Jacinta's reminding me too. The
Mm.
big thing at the moment, if you're a parent and all your kids get to vaccinate, you go, oh my God, why did you get vaccinated? Well, you got a certain expectation. Why do the kids got to do what you think? Let them have their own journey. Go enjoy being vaccinated, enjoy the poisons. That's okay. Whatever, you know what I mean? But if you've got expectation, oh my God, my kids shouldn't be vaccinated because I'm not. Well, you've got expectations that's causing suffering.
Yeah, no.
It's never what happens in your life. This is really, really important to understand, right? It's never what happens to you that causes suffering, which is a myth from a lot of people. I think, oh, this happened to me, which is causing suffering. No, it's not. That's a myth. It's your perception of what's happened, holding on to certain beliefs of what should happen, right? That's what's causing suffering. Have no expectations on any other people. That's going to change your life, I can tell you. Okay, thanks for that, Jacinta. Joe, what did you learn today from that?
Where is Joe?
Well, I'm here. I'm just a
Ah.
little, having an energy upgrade. A lot actually. So one thing that came to mind was like, you may not have expectations, but if you don't set clear intentions, the universe will give you lessons that you need to learn in terms of whatever you're experiencing in that moment. So
Yeah.
for me, it was, I felt like I was like babysitting another adult on the weekend, and I was sort of expecting to just have a really good time, but I didn't set the intention that I'll just be free of any attachments to anyone who who was drawn to my energy. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like on the weekend, I was drawing all this energy towards me, but then I felt like I was being like a mother to all these other people, and there were times where I was like, yeah, this is good, this is fine, but then by the end of it, I am now suffering physically because I've just given all this energy to these people, which is a lesson I've learned about mastering my energy. So thanks.
Which is interesting because we talked about that last week in your Q&A.
That's it. Yeah.
So yeah, it's about letting go of expectations. See, and I'm going to give another example just to finish up with. When I went to South America, initially, I had no expectations. Everyone else had expectations. How are you going to earn money? What are you going to do here? What are you going to do that? And I go, I got no idea. I'm going for an adventure. What are you talking about? I had $500 at the time. People said you were back in a couple of months, and I came back 4 years later with all these amazing experiences. But you know what? I had no expectations. I just knew, because I had a dream when I was 7 years old, I was going to live in Amazon one day. And I knew in 2010 it was the right time. I just went. So my intention is an adventure, and I'm going to allow the universe to help me create some fun experiences that I'm going to learn from. And I certainly did. Create a lot of amazing experiences because I didn't have any expectations. See, the more expectations you have, you limit what you're going to create. Expectations are a form of limited thoughts, limited beliefs. That's another way of looking at it. And of course, this is going to be relevant for when you have clients. Right? You can always ask them about what expectations they have. Because I can guarantee that's going to bring up some limiting beliefs. Yeah. So just be aware of your expectations. See what you can let go of. especially in relation to creating the course as well, and what you're getting at, a bit like Tracy said today.